All right, we are live. Welcome to the Oiler Nation Google Hangout, the Parent Family Edition, Part 2. Feeling right at home here at Oiler Nation, and we've got some great guests and great panelists here to come up tonight. We will go around the room and do some introductions here, and we are also being joined next to, you guys are right here. We're being joined remotely as well, so we'll get to you guys here in a second. But first, before we start anything, you can always tweet or chat in all of your questions. If you are using Twitter, please use the @UFinley and use the hashtag AskUF for all of your questions. Otherwise, get into the chat room and chat it up. Ask all your questions. And before we get to some open question discussion, we have Julie and Karen in front of us, and we are being joined remotely by Scott. So I'm going to turn it over and let these gals introduce themselves, and then Scott will have you talk a little bit, and then we'll go through some questions. So, who would like to start us off?
I will start, and actually my name is Tara. I'm one of the nurses at the Cosiano Health Center, and I'll tell you a little bit about our services. We are open Monday through Friday from 9 until 4, and we are free to all students. We also will be offering free flu shots starting September 18th, which is the day of our health fair in the AMU from 10 until 1. But anytime a student is sick, they can come into the health center and see a nurse, and we have over-the-counter meds to hand out for free. We have a doctor that they can see for free, and then we also have a womankind clinic. There is a small fee for that, but they can come in and see us.
My name is Karen Westrick. I'm the Director of Counseling Services at the university. Our counseling services operate somewhat like a private practice, except we're free for the students. We are staffed by licensed clinical counselors, so able to practice independently, diagnose and treat students for any mental or emotional issues that they might experience. Students can come to us without a referral. They can just walk in. Most students do schedule by appointment, and we are open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. We also have limited psychiatric services available for students who may find that that's going to be helpful in their treatment.
All right, let's turn it over to Scott, who's joining us remotely, I think from the comfort of his house and maybe his office.
I'm actually here at home. Sorry, I couldn't be there. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
All right, sounds great. All right, my name is Scott Kidd. I'm the Technology Support Coordinator at the University of Findlay. I'll tell you a little about what we do for the students at the University of Findlay. We support their network connectivity and help them with any other issues they have with their machines or computers printing while on campus. Even though we don't allow hardware repair or software repair on campus, we will help them and point them in the direction they need to go. Also available new this year is the Learning Commons over in the library. Those follow the hours of the library as well till midnight most of the week and even on the weekends. And they can ask us any questions they need to pertaining to technology. Some issues that we've seen recently, students could possibly have over the year while they're at the university is most is network connectivity, and we can help them with that.
All right. Well, thank you guys. We're not done yet. So the school season has started, and we are several weeks. We are four weeks into the school season. 4 weeks, and we have seen a lot of kids coming around campus. We have seen a big influx in students. The population is up. Kids are back. Summer's coming to an end, and this and that. What have you guys seen at the beginning of school that you can let parents know that you're seeing this happen here on campus?
We're seeing a lot of sore throats and colds and allergy problems. So they just need to stop in and let us, assess them, and then we do have over-the-counter meds to hand out for free. So that's pretty well taken care of what we're seeing.
And we're seeing kind of some of the traditional things, a lot of returning students coming back, but also an influx of homesick students We'd like to say that it goes away after a couple weeks, but sometimes it does take up to 4 to 6 weeks, sometimes even a semester. So we're working with some of your students dealing with adjusting to a college life.
Scott, from the technology side, what are you seeing coming in over the last
like I said, the majority is network connectivity, either let it be their laptops, computers, their mobile devices, tablets, phones, gaming consoles, smart TVs, Blu-ray players, anything that connects to the network. We've seen them all so far, but we've been able to rectify almost all the issues that have been brought to us, which is a great thing. You know, it's a nice environment for a melting pot of all different type of devices to connect to the network.
Outstanding. So we are officially going to open up questions. So please send in all of your questions through the chat room, or you can use Twitter. You can send your questions to @UFinley using the hashtag AskUF. So Tara, we have a health fair coming up here on campus. Can you give us an overview? What's that?
Yeah, the health fair consists of offices here at the university and also in the community that the kids can go around to the different tables and get some free things and some information on things that will help them health-wise or just different community resources here in Findlay. But it is on Thursday, September 18th from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. and it's in the Student Union. It's our 37th annual health fair, I believe Julie said, so it's pretty awesome. And we will be giving out flu shots that will be free to students that day.
Excellent. What kind of attendance do you get for the health fair?
Oh, if it's not raining, we get a lot. Some of the wellness classes will use this as extra credit, so they have check-off lists to use. But the students, it's pretty well attended.
Excellent. We do have our first question of the evening. The question is coming from Tim, and Tim is saying that his son is having printing issues because of his class schedule and his sports schedule on top of that. And by the time he gets to the library to print, there's nobody available. Do we have any recommendations for Tim's son?
Yes. Like I said, the library or the Learning Commons hours are open late till midnight, almost every night of the week. There are other locations on campus besides the library to print at this time. There's the AMU, Euler Success Center, when they're open. There's a print release station in the NMI building and in BCHS on the main floor. He can find all of the print release stations on Euler Nation. If he searches for print or print release, there's a document there that will list all the locations on campus for those.
All right. Any additional questions? You know, Tim, if your son has more questions, he can always call IT directly. The number is actually, the 4-digit extension actually spells out the word HELP, H-E-L-P. So let's move over into some counseling questions real quick before we close out all the questions for this group. We have another group coming in here in just a little bit. We'll leave the questions open for a few more minutes. Counseling services. A stigma. Is it confidential?
We adhere to all of the confidentiality laws pertaining to our license, which actually trumps the FERPA laws on campus as well as HIPAA laws, so they're pretty stringent. So any student can come to us. We do not include any of that information. It's not shared with their academic file. It's not disclosed to faculty, staff, family, friends. Assuming the student is 18 years or older, if they choose to have information exchanged with somebody, they would need to sign an authorization for release of information. And some students will do that if that's a necessary thing, but it's really something that they can trust the privacy of that. All of our records stay in-house, so the students really tend to feel safe once they take the step into the door.
So if a student walks into the health center, are they allowed to see their doctor? See a doctor? Is there a fee associated?
They can see a doctor. They will most likely see a nurse first, and we will assess them, and then we can sign them up for an appointment with Dr. Stump, and that is free. But to see Shirley Cole for our Womankind Clinic, there is a $50 charge for that.
And Scott, if students come down your way, is there a fee associated to bringing any type of equipment or tablets or laptops to have them even looked at or even possibly repaired?
No, not at all. We'll look at anything they bring in. We'll try our best to help solve whatever issue that they have. But when it comes to actually repair, that is moving away of our realm of what we're allowed to do at this current time. But again, like I said before, we will help them and point them in the correct direction. Now, there is a student-run business on campus that does hardware repair and virus scans and stuff like that. It's called 3C, and they can be located on our website as well.
All right. And can you tell us a little bit about 3C?
Yes, 3C is a student-run business on campus. It started last year, and I'm actually one of the faculty advisors of it. They're open currently now from the hours of 3 to 5:30, Monday through Friday, and they will give you a fair price compared to other businesses in the area to do any hardware repairs or virus removal. Excellent.
Melissa has sent in a question inside the chat room. Melissa has a daughter here on campus, and she says that her AT&T phone does not get the best reception in her room. And when they call her AT&T phone and they send a booster, but the signal's pretty weak and it's not even connecting, do you have any suggestions for poor Melissa's daughter and her phone?
I do know that AT&T's range does not work well within the buildings. I even have problems with my Verizon phone in the buildings. I have worked with boosters in the past, so it's possible that the booster isn't working properly when it's plugged in, and that was something that she would have to either bring the device to us at the Learning Commons, that we would be able to assist with that, making sure if it actually is working properly or not on the network.
All right. We're going to leave the questions open for just another second, and while we are waiting for any last-minute questions for our first group, I'm going to let you guys give us any last closing thoughts out to the parents, maybe some suggestions for their student, anything. So sure. We'll leave you guys with a couple of closing thoughts. If we have any questions come in, we'll get those answered, and then we'll switch our groups out.
Well, just encourage your student to come in and see us if they're sick, even if it's only been a couple of days, because we have, like I said, over-the-counter medicine to help them. And the worst thing is when they call you at midnight that, maybe their throat is so sore, they have a bladder infection or something, and we could have helped them earlier in the day. So just encourage them to come over and see us.
And my closing thought would just be simply, if they are struggling with adjustment or homesickness, please know that that is not unusual. Even students who kind of appear to be doing well on campus are sometimes coming in and letting us know that the adjustment is a big change for them. So it will happen over time. Just encourage them to get involved, to seek out help. There's plenty of resources on campus, including other students willing to help them through that. We also have open clinic times every Friday morning from 10 to 11:30, which are a very low-risk walk-in time for students. They will always be able to see somebody during that time and just get some more information on what we can do to help them.
All right. Scott, any closing thoughts?
Yes. I would also stress, just like they both have, that feel free to come see us whenever, or even give us a call if you have any question pertaining to technology or how your technology works on the network. We'll be happy to help you with what we can.
Excellent. Guys, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody joining us in the chat room, bear with us. We're going to switch our groups out here and get some fresh faces in. right. Our new group is in. Hello, new group.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to our Oiler Nation Google Hangout Family Edition. Joining us, we have Jackie, Kay, and Dee Dee. And just like before, we'll go around the room. We'll let them introduce themselves, maybe give a brief overview of what they do on campus, how they help your children here. And we'll open it up to questions. Again, another reminder, go ahead and leave all your questions in the chat room or tweet them to us using @UFinley and use that hashtag AskUF. All right, so we'll start from one side and move over and take it away.
Good evening. I'm Jackie. I'm the director of the Academic Support Center. We provide all of the free tutoring services for students on campus. They include, but are not limited to, our writing center, our chemistry and math, which are intensive, and we do offer walk-in hours for those courses. But we'll tutor any subject on campus. Anything your student is struggling in, we're happy to tutor it. Some services that we do have available right now and tutor on staff for are physics, biologies. We cover pretty much all the biologies. We do have Spanish tutor on staff, some computer science tutoring available, as well as some graduate writing center that's available to all the students. And as well as that, we also provide study skills that's available to all students on campus. And that's something that they can come in, work on time management, maybe it's memorization that they need some help in. It could be preparing for exams, test anxiety, but we're happy to help them out and give them some skills to help them be successful. Also located in our area is the Office of Disability Services. So any student who does have a disability and has documentation for that can come down and receive free services for that. And they work very closely with the Academic Support Center, where we can help them provide the tutoring and assistance they need with that also. But extended time testing is also located in our area for those students. We also have another service on campus, which I'd like to mention, that isn't located in the Academic Support Center, but for our international students and those students who English is their second language, we have what we call the ELL Support Center. In that center, our international students can get more intensive help with their writing and their language in that center. But students just need to come down and get an appointment with us for those services, or else use our walk-in hours, and we'll be happy to help them out.
Hi, I'm Dee Dee Sprout, Director of Alumni, Parents, and Friends here at the University of Findlay. And thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully, many of you have received the Homecoming and Family Weekend brochure in the mail. We are inviting you to come back to campus September 26th through the 28th and join us for some fun. If you haven't received this, you can also go to the webpage, and right under the search box, there is a parent icon. Click on the parent icon, and that'll take you to the homecoming. It'll take you to the parent page, but there's a live link there for the Homecoming and Family Weekend activities that we hope that you guys are a part of. One thing that I would like to just say that is, if you've not made hotel reservations, to please do so, because we will sell out that weekend. So if you're even thinking about coming, I would go ahead and make those reservations, and you can always call to cancel them. But the other service that I like to provide, or I do provide for the parents, are, you know, there's no question that is a silly question, so always feel free to give our office a call, 419-434-4589, and we would be glad to help you, direct you to that appropriate person, but always feel free to reach out to us.
Hello, my name is Kay Cook, and I am the director of the Oiler Success Center. Basically, we're just that one office that kind of reaches out to all students. We really encourage, if your son or daughter is having any issues or problems on campus, or we like to hear good things too. But of course, if they do have any problems or concerns, they should come into our office, and then we will get them connected to the offices on campus that they need to see. We work very closely with all the offices, the Counseling Center, the Health Center, Academic Support Center with Dee Dee, and we're there to get them in that right direction. So I'm just hoping at this point in time, all of your sons and daughters are basically made some kind of connection, made some new friends. They're out there getting connected with their, introducing themselves to their faculty. Hopefully they know their faculty by now. And also introducing themselves to their advisors and all of, getting involved, doing the 80+ clubs, they actually had an organization fair just last night. Hopefully they're finding an organization that they could be part of, participate in, do some volunteer work. There's all types of volunteers through the Campus Compact and other activities on campus. So I really hope that at this point in time you've been hearing some really awesome things that your sons and daughters are doing on campus.
All right. Thank you, guys. Again, we have questions, open questions, so please send them in. The chat room is open. If you're using Twitter, tweet all your questions to @UFinley using that hashtag AskUF. So, Jackie, you talked about the Academic Support Center and the services that they offer down there. When should a student come down to the Support Center?
Students need to come down at the first point that they're feeling uncomfortable, stressed, overwhelmed with their academics. The sooner we can get to them and get them, the right services they need, be that the time management, how to read their textbook, how to take notes, or maybe it's just content questions or a little help with their paper. We need to see them as soon as possible. If we can get started helping them now, the chances of them being successful at the end of the semester are a lot higher. So do encourage your students to come down. The first inkling, when they call and say, I didn't do good on my quiz, that's when we want to see them. That's when we'd like to provide them the help that they need.
Kay talked about the Euler Success Center, and I'm going to ask you the exact same question. When should a student come and visit the Euler Success Center?
As soon as they are feeling frustrated, they're not sure where to go, what direction, where to get that help. I always tell students, and I no doubt can almost guarantee that almost every one of your students has seen my face at least once, whereas I'm talking to them in classrooms and in other even groups of organizations. I've been to some floor meetings giving them tips for success, and it's just very important, as I just keep reiterating with them, get that problem when it's small. If you come to me when that is, it's just kind of coming to the surface, whether it's a roommate issue or whatever it may be, it's a lot easier to solve before it becomes this big issue.
Parents that are joining us, please send in your questions. We're ready for you. Jackie, I'll go back to you quick. You briefly talked about tutoring in the Academic Support Center. Can you go into detail, a little bit of detail, and also tell us what's the charge for tutoring?
There is no charge at all for tutoring. The services are all free. But our tutors, they're not there to do your students' homework for them. They're there to guide them, provide them with tips, help them with understanding the concepts, that they're learning. Their main goal is, basically to help your student become an independent learner. I always, kind of laugh. I tell my tutors that your job is to work yourself out of a job, because if you're able to do that, then we know that student can go out and work independently and be successful when they sit down and take their exams, and know that they've learned something and are able to do that on their own. Our writing center, they're not going to help your students write the paper. They're not going to edit the paper for them. But they're going to be there to guide them through, help them write that good thesis, help with organization, every part of their paper, right down to where it gets to the grammar at the very end. But there again, they're not going to be there to do homework, but to give them the tools they need to be successful.
I know we've got some parents out there that think, well, you know, my son, my daughter, they can be that tutor for that person. So when can a student who is very sure about helping other students and tutoring them in different courses, when can they come see you?
We usually like to see them. I mean, I've seen students come down after their first semester. They've had a really good semester. Maybe they did really well in that chemistry course, or if they were in their English 106 course and they've heard about becoming a tutor, they need to come down and see us right away. The sooner we can get them started, we like to start them, you know, the earlier the possible, you know, as possible. We can keep them for several semesters then, and we do like having them come down as soon as possible. It is a paid position, all peer tutors, so a paid position. The hours are extremely flexible. So if a student can only work 2 hours one semester and maybe 5 to 10 hours the next semester, that works great for us, whatever they can give us, but it gives them the opportunity to get back and feel more confident with themselves here at the university too.
And Mary just chimed in with a very fun question. She would like to know, where is the best place to watch the fireworks during Parents' Weekend?
Well, of course, I'm going to tell you that you should go to the gala, because the gala celebration, I am happy to report, we are at 391 people registered for that gala, which we are just so excited about. We still have 2 weeks to go. So we will take a break during the gala to watch the fireworks. However, if you are not making plans to go to the gala, then there will be bleachers set out behind the Davis Street building in the parking lot, and that's the best place to watch the fireworks.
So let's move into some homecoming activities. Tell us what are some things that happened over the course of the weekend, homecoming weekend?
Over the course? Oh, nothing.
Nothing happened.
Nothing at all. On Friday, we are going to have a great guest speaker on campus at 3 o'clock. Jeff Salingo, I believe is the name. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. He is going to I look at it as he's kind of kicking the homecoming weekend off for us, and he'll be speaking at 3 p.m. in Ritz Auditorium. And then followed with by Jeff's speech will be an open house at the Alumni and Parent Center right across from the main campus. And at 4:30, that starts at 4, and at 4:30 we have buses that are going to take parents and families out to both of the barns for tours to see both the Western and the English equestrian farms. Then that evening there's some other reunions with alumni happening on campus, and then on Saturday there's going to be additional tours going on out to, or not tours, but demos out at the English farm and Western farm. And then in addition to that, the college open houses will start at 11:30 to 12:30. And so I highly encourage you to walk through those open houses. Faculty will be there to talk to you. So if you're a pharmacy parent, I would go through the pharmacy as well as the fine arts. The English professors will be there, but a great opportunity for you guys to network and connect with those faculty. And then the fun, I think, starts right after that with the tailgate party out to the football stadium from 12 to 2:30. And then followed by that, Outback Steakhouse, I believe, is going to be the vendor, and we'll have food available for everyone prior to the kickoff. And then during halftime of the game, we will do the coronation of the homecoming king and queen, which will be exciting this year. So please pray for good weather, because we hope that the weather is great for us and not like a rain out day like we just had. So we hope that you guys join us.
Do we have a king and queen yet? Are we close?
We have nominations.
We have
They're
nominations.
voting right now. So encourage your son and daughter to go online and vote for their homecoming king and queen.
All right. Susan asked us a question about if we have a lost and found here on campus. Her daughter has lost a pair of glasses during her first week of school over in Egner, and she's been using her backup pair since then. You guys have any suggestions?
Well, generally, the lost and found is over at our security office. We always encourage anyone that finds something, that's usually where it ends up, so I would definitely have your daughter go to the security office here on campus.
Check with security.
Yes.
Tim chimed in with another question asking if we have to have an appointment for tutoring.
Okay, we do have walk-in hours. I mentioned it earlier for our math, chemistry, and writing, and those hours are Sunday through Thursday, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then throughout the week, and we even have weekend hours, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m., we have a variety of subjects and tutors available, but appointments do need to be made for those. And students just need to contact our office at least one business day in advance to schedule that. A business day to us is Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. So if a student wants an appointment, say for tomorrow, they need to call the office by 5 o'clock. They would have had to call by 5 o'clock tonight. If they want an appointment for the weekend or the following Monday, they need to contact the office by 5 p.m. on Fridays. Really simple process. They can either email us or they can go ahead and give us a phone call, stop by our office in the ground floor of Old Main, and we have some nice ladies there at the front desk who would be more than happy to help your student out and get an appointment made.
All right. Gary would like to know about some jobs on campus. When he visited, they expressed to his daughter that it would be easy to find a job, and she has been applying, but she hasn't heard anything back yet. Now, all the jobs that are out there are work-study only, and he's wondering if those jobs are going to open up soon, or maybe non-work-study would open up. You guys have any suggestions for Gary's daughter?
I would just encourage them to keep looking. Every week there could be new jobs posted. Sometimes an individual may quit a job and then they have to repost it. So I would just keep suggesting that she goes out, looks on that cash net, sees what's out there. If they're, like I said, I know just this last week there was 2 new jobs that were posted out there. Unfortunately, a lot of them are work study, and if they are work study, generally, if they're filled by a work study student, I do know if they cannot get it filled with a work study student, then they can go to non-work study. But basically, I would just suggest that they would go out there and keep looking at that cash net, because there are jobs added all the time and things are changing.
Can you briefly talk about the cash net and the advantages for the students?
Well, the cash net is just, it's on their intranet. They just log into that, and basically when they log in, that's where they put their resume and their application and what types of jobs they want to look at for. And then they can look at that listing of jobs, and then just basically once the resume and everything's in there, all they have to do is go in there and put a check mark. I'm interested in this job, and then it will put her resume automatically into that position. So I would just, I always tell students, just keep trying. It sometimes doesn't happen right at first, and you may not even, your daughter may not get one this semester, or your son or daughter, but I wouldn't say don't try next semester also, because again, each semester that changes.
All right, when Tim is coming to Findlay for family weekend, he would like to know what non-chain restaurant he should visit, and which ones do you guys really recommend?
I've got one, Main Street Deli. I love it.
Yep, that's a good one. Cheddar's is a family. I know that's a family favorite that a lot of, and I don't think it's a chain, but it's not in a lot of locations. The Bistro and Rosilli's downtown are excellent restaurants as well. So I would highly recommend checking out the downtown. Our downtown is really expanding, growing. It's got a lot going on. So I would highly recommend doing that. Oh, and the Gathering also is downtown. It's right off of West Main Cross, and so that's another great place. But good places, so highly recommend that you Because I know when you get here, your son and daughter is going to be like, you're taking me out to dinner.
Tony's is another good local restaurant, and it's had award-winning ribs, but a very nice family atmosphere. Have sandwiches, subs, pizzas, and a wonderful salad bar available. But that's nice, and that's out on just west of campus on 224.
And just let me add that your students will love you if you take them somewhere. I hear that all the time. Yes, mom and dad are coming. I don't know if it's so much that they're coming to talk for you to have conversation as much as it is to go out to eat or go shopping. Just FYI.
Well, I'll throw it out there again. Any kind of last questions you guys want to shoot our way? Hit the chat room. Send them that direction. If you are using Twitter, send them to @UFinley using the hashtag AskUF. Dee Dee, for homecoming weekend, what is there for parents to do? Not necessarily just the students, but what can the parents do during homecoming weekend?
We have, like I said, the open house on Friday, the tours on Saturday. The rec center is open to all families, so anybody that feels like they want to do a little exercising while they're here, the rec center is open to everyone. Get involved in campus. Go to the open houses. Talk to the faculty. Get involved with them. We try not to schedule a lot of activities because what we have found over homecoming weekend is when the parents come back, the kiddos want to do something and they don't really want to go on a rigid schedule. But we have the tailgate, lots of activities going on if they so wish to participate in those.
All right. Well, I don't see any more questions. One more question? A couple more questions? All right. Okay, my daughter's in the English equestrian program. Has a hard time making it back for dinner. Any suggestions? By the way, she loves it at UF.
That's awesome. Well, I believe the dining hall stopped serving the evening meal at 7. Is that correct? I'm not totally positive on that, but I think it's 7. So there's a couple of things they can do if she's getting back later than that, is maybe prior to her leaving, if she has the meals already anyway, she can go in through what they call their,
It's just called to go.
to go. Yes, it's to go. Sorry. They can go in and they can pick up an entree, a salad, a fruit, a drink, and those types of things. And I see students do this all the time. They go back to their dorm room, take that, stick it in their refrigerator, and then when they get back, they can just throw that in the microwave and they've got a nice meal. It's very, very simple for them to do. Some of them will actually maybe pick up 2 meals at one time, go in there, and then that way they have that in their dorm room, and they can have like chicken parmesan. I think that was one of them. They have a lot of different hot entrees, and then again, like I said, salads and fruit, desserts, and drinks, I believe, are all there. And so I would recommend that if she just can't get back in time.
They can use the lunch money too, I believe at Cave.
Yeah, they can do that,
money.
yes, the Cave, and then there's also, they can use that for outside vendors. They can use there's 10 vendors that they can use it at.
So we have a question about the homecoming gala, and they just want to know, what is the proper attire?
It says cocktail attire, but you will see many forms of dress, I'm sure, that evening. I would say Sunday best, but if you really want to get dressed up, there's going to be opportunities for people to dress up as well. So you'll see a little bit of everything.
All right. Well, we'll wrap things up here with some final thoughts from our 3 panelists. And just a quick reminder, if you have any last-minute questions, please go ahead and send them in. But this entire hangout has been recorded, and you can watch it on YouTube, and we will be emailing this back out to all the parents so they can see it. Yeah, so any final thoughts? Go right ahead.
I just want to remind you to come back homecoming weekend, family weekend, and join us for some Oiler fun and get to know the Oiler family a little bit better. So September 26th through the 28th, come back.
I'd just like to let you know that if your student is frustrated with their academics and the grades they're getting, please have them come down. College is very different. Many of our students, are finding, the ones I've been seeing these last couple of weeks especially, they didn't really have to spend a lot of time studying. So it's a different atmosphere when now all of a sudden they're throwing into this and they're finding they need to study. That last minute study isn't working. There's so much material for them to learn and know, but it is very, very manageable. And when they come in and talk to me, I can easily show them a plan building on some of their good study habits that they already have that can help them be successful. So do encourage them to come down as soon as possible.
And I guess my words of wisdom would be is communicate, communicate, communicate. Encourage your sons and daughters if they're having issues or concerns, they're calling home with any frustrations, please encourage them to come to the Oiler Success Center so that we can try to get to the root of their problems. And then if it is getting to the point where you feel that they're not responding, give me a call so that I can do a reach out to your son or daughter.
All right. Oiler parents, thank you so much for joining us tonight. All the panelists said it. If there is anything that we can do for you, please reach out to us, and we will help you out. From Oiler Nation, thank you for joining us, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.